Hi everyone. Hi Mom.
Hi.
Thank you, Rachel. I'm Sophie. I'm a grade 11 student here at Ashbury College. And when I was 10, I moved to India with my family because my father was posted to Chandigarh, which is a couple hours north of New Delhi. And while we were living there, we lived on a compound. It was a small compound, but nonetheless, it was definitely a compound. And on the compound with us lived our domestic staff that worked in the house and their kids, who were roughly around the same age as I was. As you can imagine, it didn't take very long until we were very close friends, and even now consider each other almost like siblings in a way. So a couple years into me living in India, we were having a pizza party, which was a pretty normal thing for us to do. I mean, who doesn't like pizza? It's kind of just pizza, it's great. So yeah, we were having a pizza party and we somehow got on the topic of our futures. And of course, I had all of those 12-year-old grand plans of I'm gonna change the world, I'm gonna be a doctor and a lawyer and a veterinarian, and I'm gonna do great things and make a difference. They kind of repeated this back to me, but they said it in a different tone than I did. They said it like they didn't believe it. And one of them said, oh yeah, I'm kind of interested in being a doctor, and the other two teased him because they didn't think that he could. I woke up the next morning and I looked in the mirror and I recognized my race and my gender. And I saw that they have limitations and that I have limitations, and I began to become interested in social hierarchy and kind of the idea of social progress. I don't have a clicker. Justin! Can I have a clicker, please? Oh, thank you, man. Okay, I think it's that button. Oh, that's me. Okay. So there's my glorious graph of progress. That is beautiful because I'm such an artist. There's a reason I took drama. And that is the very reason there. As you can see, progress travels kind of like that. I mean, that's a really gross generalization. And as Aisha said, not how she sees progress, but this is how I see progress in a social context. So you have the magical blue circle that was supposed to be red, I don't know, changed colors, represents our 2 steps forward. And that one was supposed to be blue, okay. That represents our 1 step backwards. So you have, I mean, I've seen numerous examples of this in my experience. I've seen, you could take, let's go, there's a few. Let's go with gay marriage, just for one off the top of my head. You've seen a lot of progress happening, especially with the US legalizing it across the country. But then you have the fact that at the beginning of this month, 2 Communist Party members in Russia decided they were going to propose a bill placing a fine on public displays of homosexual romanticism. We've seen it with the civil rights movement. You had, in the last century, this influx of working with racial minorities to try to gain equality. And then now you have the police brutality happening primarily in the US, but we haven't escaped it in Canada. If you've ever seen, you know the film by Woody Allen, Bananas, from 1971, where the dictator kind of gets up and he's like, everyone from this day forward will wear their underwear on the outside. Yeah, that's also a step back. You guys don't find my jokes funny? That was a 1 step back in my ego. Thanks, guys. So, what is the alternative to this? So one that's proposed is linear progress. But the problem with this is that it takes so much longer to get from point A to point B. It's like telling the women during the suffrage movement, whoops, we're not going to let you vote for another 50 years because not everyone agrees. It's like telling the LGBTQ population in the US, whoops, we're not going to let you get married for another 50 years because not everyone agrees. So let's make it the absolute ideal. Let's speed it up. Great, looks like that. So now you have the same amount of progress, roughly. I mean, I'm obviously not the greatest artist, so I didn't measure. But at a lot faster rate. What's the problem with this, though? Is that when this happens, anger happens. Again, great drawing by Sophie Slessor. Thank you very much. Can I get a round of applause for my great... I'm talented. Okay, so you have, when progress starts to move that fast, you have a group or different groups of people look in and say, whoa, man, you're going too fast. I can't handle this. Or gay marriage, no thanks. Or consent is stupid. I mean, you have that, there will always be a group that will oppose. And the reason why it would take longer is because it takes a lot longer to form consensus, right? Like if I took a show of hands, how many of you agree with the fact that the sky is red? Seriously? No one? Okay. Well, what if, do you get what I mean? Like, it would take a long time for me to push that, for you to actually start to believe it. So anger, that's a great emotion. So we can see that the step backwards, they're completely inevitable, 110%. We cannot avoid stepping back to step forward. So how do we make the repercussions, how do we make the pain felt less? How can we minimize that? So I came up with a guide, you can get it at Chapters, called The 16-Year-Old Guide to Smaller Steps Back. And again, you don't find me funny, guys, honestly. Okay. You can't actually get it at Chapters, that was a joke that you didn't find funny either. Okay, so the first step, don't be a bystander. This is something we've been taught since the early grades. Grade 1, 2, and 3, all of those bullying speeches, when you see someone being put down, you don't just let it happen. You don't just stand by and watch. You stand up for them, or you tell a teacher, you do something. Why is this any different? Second one, break the uncool stigma around being passionate. Let's say you're having a conversation with someone, and you're just talking back and forth, and it gets a little heated. It gets to the point where it's a full-blown almost argument. And the other person says, yo, man, just calm down. That makes you feel like you can't be passionate about something, that you can't hold strong opinions. You can hold strong opinions. You can totally hold strong opinions, as long as you don't shove it down people's throats. I mean, you can definitely hold your opinions, stand your ground, and that's important. Use social media. This one is so important. How else can we get ideas halfway across the world in a matter of seconds? We can't. I mean, snail mail will work great if you want to tell someone about, I don't know, something that happened at school that hurt you. If you want to tell them in like a week or two, that might help. But if you want to stand up for things that you believe in, not just stand up for things, but find other people that share your opinions so that you can find common ground and build together and fight for it together. Social media is the easiest way to do it. This is not something that you can just say, oh, I'll let someone else deal with it later. You can't. This takes all of us. This requires everyone to participate. It requires everyone to try to stand up for progress, to try to push forward. We all need to try to take the 2 steps forward together and the smaller steps back. Thank you.